Um, this is probably the what you call a summation, but there's always something new to experience, right? That you haven't experienced before. Um, but when I run through all the information that you experienced from the time I was a child, if you will, which is like a rotating, circulating library of information, when your neurons are connected to all the other neurons and you're experiencing what other people are experiencing, right? Moving through a consciousness field. When I was a lot younger, I used to say it's like navigating a field, which is called navigating the terrain, which is called mapping the terrain of consciousness. And what you're actually measuring is density, or if you will, what I call the resistance game between being able to experience more love, the capacity to experience more love, or experience a higher vibration, which is a higher vibration of perception, okay, against all the antennas that they set up that they're throwing against us in order to keep it down, in order to use this as a source of food or energy and run their DNA experiments. Okay? So that means that the sheriff, the real sheriff, has got to come along and say, that's enough. The law of one is here. Okay? They know that. The one is here. Okay? They know that. And I represent the law of one. They know that. Okay? And so that means accountability time has showed up. They know that. Okay? They're screaming for food. So they know that they've got to account for all their crimes, and they've all been enumerated. And that's called an energy debt. And if they can't pay the debt back from what they owe to zero out their account, what do you think happens? That's why I take a deep breath. Now, from the time I was a child, the simplest way I know that a child can explain a universe is when you realize that it starts with love, because that's what you are. And that means everything else that you're going to experience from that point forward, from the moment that you experience that love vibration, is called a filter. You are filtering incoming content, baby. Because you're on fire to experience everything you want to experience, which is you want to experience the entire universe that goes on forever, gifting electrons. So you know you got forever to experience forever with, right? Which means there's no expiration date on a universe that's created what love is, which is the law of one, which is what love is. That's as simple as it gets. So now when you start running all the other data streams, trying to explain to yourself, well, how'd I end up in a place where I'm not experiencing love everywhere I go, because that's where I'm from? Okay. So you got to find out a way to figure that out. So the easiest way that I ever figured out to do a mind wipe, a memory wipe, is experience what love is. Now you're back at 0 ohms. Now you're experiencing what love is, because that's what we are. So you're doing work, you're having fun, and naturally, if you've ever gone in, write a love letter to yourself, right? Imagine the most beautiful places that you could experience that you love to experience. When you know what it's like to experience a love vibration, do what excites you, right? And then we can get into what are known as the attachments. The attachments are simply a good way to do this is all the things that you have within your possession, of all the things that you accumulated as a result of all the work that you have to do with all the electrons you use and wish to do it with. If somebody cuts you a paycheck, put it in a direct deposit account, represented by the numbers, which represent the electrons, that you can now go use to acquire what? More stuff. Now you got all this stuff. And most of the people that I know that were acquiring all this stuff, most of which they don't have the time or the energy to experience all at once, right? Anybody that's ever bought a brand new car? Wow, I'm excited. I got a brand new car. Oh, how long do you think it takes before all of a sudden that experience is not there anymore? Oh, well, it's just a vehicle. It's what I use to get around with. It lost that excitement, right? So you're running a rotation library of experiences by the experience that you're experiencing, the vibration that you're using to experience it with what you experience when you experience what you experience in energy. So before you know it, you begin to realize, hey, I'm doing an axial spin rotation of a circulation library, which is bioplasma through my system. And a lot of things that I was acquiring since childhood, I don't have anymore. And I realized, man, I rotated everything out. It's all gone. Where did it all go? See? So what you begin to realize is the more things you rotate out that you're no longer held captive to, the higher your speed. And that's called matter density. Now you get into programmable matter. Now you get into the density game. Because what I realized as a child is that the more stuff I keep accumulating by the use of the electrons, I'm feeding the system. I don't want to do that. Start giving it all away. Start giving all your money away, giving all your electrons away. What happens? You reduce your mass, increase the speed, now you're more light. Now you're running a powerful transmitter. Now you begin to learn in your mirror how a mirror works in the universe. So now what happens is you're learning at a higher rate of speed because you're no longer held captive to what? Something that's feeding on you. So instead of becoming a food source, and you think of a food chain, you can think of the evolution of consciousness, right? Which is the evolution of a higher vibration, because you're learning faster through your mirror what best serves your energy to be the source from which creation actually takes place, which is what love is. It goes on forever. Because the more things that you're giving love to, right, is experiencing what you are. And that's what grows a flower. That's what grows a tree. That's what grows a seed. Love grows a universe. So imagine a universe that's in love with yourself. A universe that's in love with itself. Imagine a universe that is in love with itself, that wherever you go in that universe, you're experiencing what it is, which is what you are. That's called an acceleration speed of what love is, that is moving at a higher rate of speed than a machine. Yeah, which means you're learning at a faster speed in spirit and in soul than a machine is without one. And the difference between the two is called resistance. Why? Because the machine does not have a soul and can't experience eternal love. Otherwise, this AI, you would be experiencing through love, through everything that you're experiencing on Facebook. Right? So love is a filter. I call it an antivirus program, but it's not a program. It's a vibration. So love is a vibration. So when you are what love is, you are the highest law. Right? That's the law of one. And that is a state of love and joy, baby. So have a great day. I love you all. Mauna Loa is dumping out the lava. Yeah, 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 yeah.